Hello and welcome to Cloud Perceptor. Today we are going to do a hands-on demo on using AWS Lambda layers. So first of all, let's understand what is Lambda layers. Lambda layers are kind of compressed zip archives containing additional code or data that Lambda functions can leverage. So these archives may include libraries, custom runtimes, data, or configuration files that are crucial for your Lambda function operations. So here are some of the key benefits of Lambda layers. Like first one is reduced code size. Second is agile development. Okay. It is kind of faster iteration on business logic and quicker development of your code. So kind of it facilitates more responsive development cycles. Third is code sharing and reusability. So you can also share your Lambda layer with another account. Okay. So it can perform multiple functions. Dependency separation. So it is kind of a clear separation between the primary function code and its dependencies, and it enhances modularity and maintainability. Okay. So here are some of the most important points you should remember before creating Lambda functions and layers, probably adding the layers to a Lambda function. So first one is you can add maximum layer of 50 megabytes of size. Next is you can add up to 5 layers in Lambda function. And remember, the last one is the most important one. Always create your layer in Python folder. Okay. Make sure zip contains the Python folder. So it should be like that. So for the given example, in we are going to use in this demo is kind of just consider as an e-commerce application, right? So let's say if some user is using a credit card payment option, then uh, there will be certain kind of validation that happens behind the scenes for the credit card number, right? So it has to be like 16 digits or something. Okay, so we are going to do a small demo on basis of that. But always remember the last point, because it can, like, if you even if you have everything set up right, if you don't follow the last step, you will always get cannot find module error. Okay. So here is the is the two types of Lambda function we have created. One is without layers, and uh, second one is with layer. As you can see, right, if when we are using with layers, it is kind of using the same Lambda layer. So I have two functions over here. Each of this function can use a common layer. Okay, and the first one, right, the previous one without layers, it is kind of cumbersome to maintain the code dependencies, custom runtime configuration, etc. So let's say you have hundreds of functions, right? And uh, it is having kind of a common code. Let's say tomorrow, if there is an upgrade or something, right? Then it's going to become cumbersome for you to modify all these functions and kind of get this change implemented. So let's do a hands-on demo. Okay, first of all, let's look at the code that we are gonna put in this credit card validation.py. Okay. All right. So here's my code. Okay, that I'm gonna zip it. So here we have a function called validate credit card number, which is a parameter of credit card number. Okay, we are just checking simply if length of credit card number is equal to 16, then it should return pass or fail. Okay. So let's say in my e-commerce application, right, I have multiple other applications, uh, kind of separate modules, we can say, and those are having different payment options, right, including the credit card. I just want to make sure that the validate method remains the same, because of course every credit card is kind of having a 16-digit number. So let's try to think that way and implement and create a layer. right? So let me show you the folder structure. Okay, so I have, this is my project folder on the C drive, and I have a Python folder here, and inside that I have this credit card validation file. What I'm gonna do is now I am gonna simply right click and uh, create a zip file over here. That's gonna give me a python.zip. Okay, let me double click on that and see. Okay, so we have a Python folder in, and here we have the credit card validation, right? So we are good with the layer now. Now let's open the AWS Management Console, head over to the Lambda service page, and let's create a layer. All right, so I am now logged in to this uh, Lambda service. Let me click on create layer, give it some name like uh, CC validation layer, or maybe validation layer. Okay, and let's upload the zip file. Yeah, I already have the Python folder over here. I'm just double click on that, and no need to select the compatible runtimes. You can skip that. Sorry, compatible architecture you can skip. Just select the compatible runtime because this is the mandatory one. I'll just select Python 3.8. Okay, and I'll click on create. That's gonna give me a layer called validation layer. Okay, so here we go. It has successfully done. And wait, let's look at over here. We have a validation layer. Right? Here we go. Python 3.8. We are gonna use that. And this ones I have created just for some testing purpose. I'm quickly going to delete those just to avoid some confusion. Right, my validation layer is also not required. Delete, and we are done. All right, so we now have just the validation layer. That's good. I'm gonna quickly go over here and create a function. Okay, so e-commerce payment function, right? So this is the function that is going to handle the payment. If user has selected credit card, then we be having certain options. Okay. I'm using Python 3.8. Default execution rule, I'll have to select something over here. Okay, that's it. Let's quickly create a function. Okay, so now the function has successfully got created. We'll head over to the layer section. You can see over here. Click on that. You'll find options like edit and add a layer. We don't have any layer over here at the moment, so we are quickly gonna click on add a layer. Click on custom layer. See, AWS also provides some pre-configured layers, but since we have already defined our own layer, we're gonna use custom layers. Okay, so we can see now, right? There's a validation layer. And remember one thing, let's say if you have Python 3.8, right, configured for your layer, and your kind of function, your Lambda function is using Python 3 point something, like let's say a latest version of Python, okay, 3.9 or 3.10 or something, right? Then it won't show up this layer for that. Okay, so make sure the runtime supports the, like the layer sometimes supports the function. Okay. Okay, now click on add. Okay, let's see. Yep. So you can now see the value has got changed from 0 to 1. That means we have one layer configured over here. This is our function now. Okay. I'm gonna quickly write my code like import, and let me head over to this I have this credit card validation.py, right? Credit card underscore validation as validator, EC validator. Okay. So now we are gonna write some function over here like okay, we will be writing the lambda function if, and code would be like this, EC validator dot, and now the function name. Okay, so this will be passing a value over here, say like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. Okay, equals to pass, then return payment credit card number is in valid range. Okay, or else return you have entered an invalid credit card number. Okay, so something like this we are gonna create. Right, so we won't be needing this default code. Let's quickly deploy this function and test it if it is able to find this function or not. So far, our whatever rules were there, right, for creating this lambda layer, we completely followed that. So I believe it should work. Let's give it a try. Okay, contest. I'll just name it test or something. Save and test. You entered an invalid credit card number. The credit card number is invalid. Okay, so we just have to tweak this function a little bit. Like, let's take the particular credit card number parameter from the test itself. Okay, test values. So we are gonna make this little bit change over here. Event and single bracket, pass in the value uh, TC number, something like this, and let's deploy this and create a new test. I'll quickly edit this test event, pass in the TC number, and we don't need this multiple keys. Just remove this. We'll just pass in this number like 13 14 15 16. Yeah, this is a valid credit card number. Let's save this and test it. It is again saying the invalid. Let's print this particular value to see what's wrong. Okay. Let's make sure that this number is coming up fine or not. Okay, so we'll deploy this. Let's validate our test event. Okay, test event as CC number and this particular parameter as 16. Okay, so let's invoke this and see. Okay, we are getting the correct number over here, but still it says it is invalid. Okay, let's print this value for this credit card number and see. Okay, print and this one. Just write another print statement. Okay, done the contest. It is returning fail. Okay, so now let's head over to our function and see what is wrong over here. If length of credit card number is equal to 16. Okay, okay, got it. The reason is we are adding one more digit over here. Now let's save and invoke it. Okay, at this point, if you know right what is wrong with this function, just head into the comment section of this video and type in comments. Let's investigate what is wrong, right? Why our function is returning it as uh, fail over here. Right? We are passing the correct value over here when we are testing it, right? But why it is failing? One thing we can check is let's hardcode the value again to see like why it is failing. Okay, so we'll be hard coding it. The value is getting printed over here there, so it means that it is correct. We entered an invalid. Now let's type in one more digit. Right. All right, let's do one thing. What we can do is you can copy this function, put this in the same lambda function with a different name. Okay, let's try to debug what's wrong. Okay, number v2 or number local. Okay, this is kind of a local copy, so let's put it like this. Is it okay? Sorry, there is a problem in this function, right? Instead of 16, it is 10 over there. You see? Oh, there is the problem. That's a silly mistake. Okay, so make sure. Okay, let's assume that the credit card number is kind of value of 10. Okay, let's hypothetically assume that. Right, let's put 10 number over here, 90. Perfect. Now let's deploy this. So now I believe it should tell us that the credit card number is correct. Still, it's not giving us. Okay, it is okay. Sorry, it is taking this number from the event, so we got to modify this event as well. Second, 10. It's 10 over here. It is also perfectly fine. Credit card validation 10. Right, it's 10 only. All right, so I've given the digits up to 10. Let's try it again. It says credit card number is invalid range. That means it is correct. Okay, now let's make it dynamic. Let's put this event thing over there. Put it. Let's remove this unnecessary code from here. Deploy. Okay. Successfully got deployed. Now let's head over to the test event. Let's try the invalid scenario first. Invoke. You entered an invalid number. Configure. Let's try up to digit number 10, 10, okay, 90. Save, test, credit card number is in valid range. Got it? So because I was just assuming that I have entered the value of 16 over here. I was just trying to see, but that's a silly mistake like I just made. Yeah, put it to 10 earlier. So anyways, so this is how the whole thing works. Okay, as you can see, we are able to invoke this uh, credit card validation, this particular function, right, from our layer. That is a cool thing, right? Let's say tomorrow you have another Lambda function which wants to use the same layer, you can also use it. That is a cool thing. It makes life easy. And again, you can also share this function with other accounts as well. That I'll show you in another video. So that's it for this video. Okay, so uh, do let me know in the comment section how did you found out this video to be, and apart from that, do like and subscribe my Cloud Perceptor channel. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.